on top, it looks clean, but all you do is stir. And if you could zoom in onto that, Dan, this disrupt the bank a bit. Look at all the chemicals released. There's a kind of a stench, a butane kind of stench coming out just by moving the riverbed around a little bit. That's all sitting in the bed of the river. These chemicals are heavier than the water molecules, and that's why it's resting. This run is dead until this entire bed is cleaned out. And I don't know when that happens. Or if you try to wait naturally, maybe a decade. I see no fish. I see no fauna. There's nothing here. It's all gone. Okay.
What's up? It's Cinnamon Shogun here. And as you can tell, the people of East Palestine, Ohio are still being lied to. And for the life of me, I do not understand why there isn't a bigger cleanup effort going underway right now. I know there have been people out in these creeks and streams collecting the dead fish, but you see those chemicals that are in the soil? You see how that guy stirred up the water a little bit and you see those chemicals rise to the top? The longer those chemicals sit there without being cleaned up, the deeper and deeper they leak into the soil. Now, eventually, it will leak all the way down until it hits bedrock. And when that happens, those chemicals will contaminate that water for decades to come. There was a possibility that if they did what they were supposed to do, that I'm not saying everything would be back to normal in this area, but it would have been way better now, since it's been, two weeks and some change since the chemical spill. Now, these chemicals are just seeping deeper and deeper into the soil. And once they get deep down in there and trenched into that soil, it's going to affect the soil, it's going to affect the water, it's going to affect the environment, it's going to affect this area for years to come. But it didn't necessarily have to be this way. There was never going to be a scenario where everything came out perfectly, but it didn't have to be this bad. What we witnessed out there in Ohio was a catastrophe. But not just that, we witnessed our own government turn a blind eye towards it. The only reason they're getting some type of help now is because we all, and I'm talking about some of you all watching this video too, we did not allow this news story to go away. We focused on this story. We talked about this story. We shared articles. We shared firsthand accounts. And we made this news story blow up because they wanted to just sweep it under the rug. And boy, oh boy, was it almost swept under the rug. There was so much going on. You know, all of those UFOs and things were popping off. But I would credit the UFOs for bringing awareness to this story, because everyone was saying, oh, this is a distraction. And I think that the UFO story, in a weird way, it awakened a lot of people who have been just kind of coasting through the news lately. And it kind of woke them up to like, hey, what in the hell is going on in our country? And then people started looking around. And we started finding all of these other odd things that are going on. And ladies and gentlemen, do not let anyone gaslight you into thinking that all of this stuff that we see transpiring over the past couple of weeks, don't let them gaslight you into thinking it's normal. They want to gaslight you into thinking it's normal for Chinese spies to be flying in the sky. They want to gaslight you into thinking it's normal for trains to derail and to totally ruin entire towns. No, it's not normal. All of these trains derailing, it's not normal. All of these chemical spills, all of these warehouse fires, it's not normal. Okay? It's not. Plenty of you all have been living on this earth longer than me. You tell me when in history was all of this stuff happening? You know, I can't sit here and claim that I know everything that's going on in the world, because I don't. But I could tell you that before a few years ago, things were not this crazy. We weren't hearing about food plants catching on fire every single day. We weren't hearing about things like what happened in Ohio. I'm not saying these situations didn't happen. These situations have always happened in little one-off scenarios, but not in these clusters, to where you can look across America and there's 15, 20, 30 situations just like this one going on all at the same time. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking it's normal. And what's happening right now is people are trying to gaslight people into thinking that the situation in Ohio isn't as bad as what it is. Now, of course, some of these people have their own agendas. Most of them are political. They don't want a particular party or a particular political party to look bad. And in my opinion, I mean, in situations like this, I wish we could take politics. I wish we could take our political differences and kind of put them to the side. I understand that politics plays a part in everything. I'm not saying that it's not. But in order to help the people of East Palestine, Ohio, I don't see why it's necessary to have these political battles right now. And I don't see why it's necessary to turn a blind eye to this situation just because you don't want a certain political party to look a certain way. But that's what's happening. People are trying to gaslight people into thinking that the situation in Ohio isn't that bad. They're already calling people conspiracy theorists. Oh, you're spreading conspiracies if you say the water isn't safe to drink. You're spreading conspiracies if you think the air isn't safe to breathe. But these are the same people that gaslit you for the last 3 years. These are the same people that said you were bad. You were just as bad as Hitler if you didn't wear a mask to the grocery store. The same people who told you that you can't go to the park, you can't go to the beach, you can't do anything in your life that you normally used to do because it's too dangerous to breathe the air. Okay? Those same people are telling you it's safe to breathe in East Palestine, Ohio. The same exact people who wanted you to be afraid to breathe. They wanted you to be afraid to get exercise. They wanted you to be afraid of going out in the sun. They wanted you to be afraid of living a normal life. And they've been spreading that fear for years on end. But now that we have a real problem, now that it's really not safe to breathe the air, they're telling you, oh, it's safe. It's safe. You know, when this situation first happened, I saw reports of people's pets dying. And then you get the usual suspects online, the bots and the activists, all saying, oh, that's not true, that's a conspiracy. And then you see videos of people's chickens and pets dead. Then you heard, oh, the fish, they're dying in the creeks. Then the usual suspects came along, oh, that's a conspiracy, it's not true, where are the videos? And then you see countless videos of fish dead in the creeks. We're hearing a lot of things coming from this town. And most of what we're hearing, it's being disputed by the same exact crew of people who were spreading all of the fear and all of the nonsense during the last couple of years. So I don't trust these people. I don't listen to a thing they say. When someone comes along and tries to gaslight me and tells me this is normal, trains derail like this all the time, this always happens, this is normal, I ignore them. I totally ignore them. Those people aren't even worth the engagement. There'll be some in the comment section right now. Those people are completely and utterly lost. But the worst part is you know what? Let me rephrase that. Most of those people are completely and utterly lost. The others know exactly what they're doing. And that makes it even worse. They know exactly what they're doing. And they know that this doesn't make sense. They know that these things aren't okay. They know that this looks suspicious, but they're going to tell you otherwise because they have an agenda to push. But I want you all to watch this clip because someone is speaking out who claims to have family that lives in the area. And they're being told some really questionable things. You know, they're telling people to go home, breathe the air, drink the water, it's fine. But they're also telling them other things. Let's watch this clip and then I'll be right back with my thoughts.
Hey everybody, another update on the East Palestine, Ohio train crash and what my extended family is saying to us about it. They have been told that everything in their homes that is permeable, so their furniture, their bedding, their clothing, anything that's wood, cement needs to be thrown out because these chemicals have permeated through them and they're forever chemicals, so they're never going to go away. They're being told to throw out most of the things in their home and that simultaneously it's somehow safe to still live there. I'm not buying it, and neither are they. They were also told that the gas that is formed from vinyl chloride forms mustard gas and is going to settle in their basements, and that they shouldn't be going in their basements right now because it could be dangerous. But you can live in your house, it's fine. There's just mustard gas in it. It's totally fine. They were initially offered $5 a person for the entire town, but now they're offering them $1,000, which still doesn't cover the cost of rehoming yourself after all of this, the cost of getting hotels, the cost of trying to clean up everything, the cost of your health, the cost of the trauma this caused, the ongoing trauma this has caused until these people are financially compensated and given new homes, basically. They need to be rehomed. One of the most disturbing things is that they've told us they have body rashes. They've gone to the hospital and the doctors pretty much say, we don't know what we can do for you. We don't know how to treat this. We don't even know really what it's caused from. We don't know how to decipher how to go from here. The doctors are overwhelmed. It seems like the entire medical system everywhere around there is overwhelmed because of this. Who knows what all of these chemicals created when they combined in the air, in the atmosphere, in the water, in the soil. These chemicals have been confirmed to now be in the Ohio River, and I can tell you how that happened. Not to mention that these chemicals just were spewing into the air and into the clouds, the atmosphere above, obviously that part, but when the fire departments first came on the scene, they were dousing the flames of the train cars with massive amounts of water, which got into the streets and got into the sewer system, the water system, which inevitably ended up in the river. So all of the chemical runoff from the fire departments trying to put out the fire is in the water table now. I just think it's painfully obvious that they are downplaying the severity of all of this because they don't want to take financial responsibility for the permanent mess that they've caused for these people. They need to be honest. They need to be transparent about the short and long-term impacts of this train crash and what potentially this mixture of chemicals could do to everybody.
So they're literally telling these people, hey, it's safe to go home. Just don't go down to the basement. Just forget that you have a basement. Don't go down there, okay? Don't go down there. It's totally safe to be in your house. But it's not safe to be in the basement that is attached to your house. So you could chill in the living room. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Nothing to worry about. But if you go down in that basement, oh God, do not go down there. That obviously tells you that it's not safe. It's safe to breathe the air. It's safe to drink the water, but you might want to change your bed sheets. You might want to throw away your mattress and replace it with something else. So therefore, it's not safe. If it's not safe to go in your basement, it's not safe to be in your house. If it's not safe to be in your basement, it's not safe to drink the water. If it's not safe to be in your basement, it's not safe to breathe the air. If it's not safe to sleep on your bed, then how is it safe to be at your house? It is a total contradiction. You know what I mean? You can't tell people it's safe to go home and it's safe to do all of this and then tell people they need to replace their bed sheets and their pillows and their beds and that they can no longer use their basements. That tells you right there that this is not safe. And then they talk about trust. And why do people distrust the government? And the government officials out there are acting all like frustrated with the people of this town. Like they're getting so frustrated that no one will believe them. Yeah, because you're blatantly lying to these people's faces. You're telling them the water is safe and then they go in their backyard, kick around the creek and can tell that it's not. You're telling them that the air is safe to breathe while a smell of chemicals, covers the entire town. You're telling people, go home, live your life, everything's okay. Just make sure you throw away all your bedding and you don't go downstairs. It's completely bogus BS that they're telling these people that everything's okay. But it's not the first time and it won't be the last. This isn't me trying to sow mistrust in our government. I wish we could trust these people. I don't care what political party these people are with. I just want the people of this town to be able to live a normal life. I wish that the values of their homes weren't completely destroyed now. I wish that their livelihoods could be the same, but it can't. It will never be the same. And instead of giving these people the truth, they're force-feeding these people lies. And they're gaslighting them into like, oh, you must be a conspiracy theorist if you don't think it's safe to breathe here. Absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I hope you all are paying attention to this, because this should show you that a lot of this other nonsense our government spews is just that. It's nonsense. It's BS. They don't care about our health. They didn't care about our health for the past 3 years, and they're damn sure not going to start caring now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.